Hi, welcome to Barney Tech channel.
Hello and welcome to Barani Tech. In this video, we are going to explore the MyCOM P645 relay. We'll start with the basics of how to establish communication with the relay and then move on to the crucial part, how to configure its settings. Often when we talk about relays, we focus heavily on the hardware configuration. We might just punch in the settings from a sheet without a second thought. But the reality is, for a relay to operate accurately and reliably, there are several key settings beyond the standard protection values that we absolutely need to pay attention to. So, in this session, we'll cover the entire process step by step. Part 1, Establishing Communication. First things first, let's look at how to get your laptop talking to the relay. The first thing you need is the correct communication cable. If your laptop has a built-in RS-232 port, you can use a standard RS-232 straight cable. However, most modern laptops don't have this port, so you'll likely need a USB to RS-232 converter cable. Once you have the physical connection, the next step is to check your laptop's device manager to see which COM port the cable is using. Make a note of this as you'll need it later. Now open the MyCOM Agile software. 1. Start by creating a new system and give it a name. For this example, I'll name it Barani Tech. 2. Right-click on the system you just created and select Add Substation. You can give it your actual substation name here. 3. Right-click on the substation, add a voltage level, and then right-click on that to add a bay. Give your bay a descriptive name. From this point, there are two ways to connect to the relay. Quick connection. Use this if you are doing simple maintenance, like just checking or viewing the settings. Detailed connection. This is the method you should use for a fresh commissioning. It allows you to fully configure the device. For this tutorial, we'll use the detailed connection for right-click on the bay you created and select Add Device. 5. You'll need to choose the correct relay model. In this case, we are using the MyCOM P645 Agile Modular Relay. After selecting the series, the software will show the specific model you have installed. Since I have the P645, I'll select it. 6. The software will then ask for the full model number of your relay. You can find this number on a label on top of the relay or on the front HMI under the System or General menu. Enter this number when prompted. 7. Once the device is added, you'll see several folders appear underneath it like Connections, Settings, PSL, and Menu Text. Now let's set up the communication pathway. 8. Right-click on the Connections folder and select New Connection. 9. You'll be presented with three options: or front port for the front panel, or rear port, or Ethernet port. 10. Since we are connecting to the front of the relay, select front port. Then go to the properties and make sure the COM port setting matches the one you noted from your device manager. For me, it's COM3. (11) To verify everything is working, right-click on the connection and select Test Connection. If successful, the software will display the relay's details, confirming it's connected. Part 2, Reading Existing Settings. Now that we are connected, let's read the current settings and logic from the relay. To read the protection settings, right-click on the Settings folder and select Extract. The software will retrieve the settings and save them as a .set file. I'll rename this file to something more meaningful, like original. To read the programmable logic, right-click on the PSL, Programmable Scheme Logic folder, and also select Extract. This will download the logic configuration file from the relay. We now have both the protection settings and the logic safely saved on our laptop. Part 3. Reviewing and configuring key relay settings. Let's go through the critical settings folder by folder. A. System data. First, verify the system frequency is correct for your application. You can also name your plant under plant reference. Check the date and time. Configuration under selected group. It's good practice to keep it set to selected via menu for flexibility. Ensure the active group is the one you intend to use. Here I have it as group 1 and I make sure the group is enabled. This is a crucial step. Enable the protection elements you plan to use. For my transformer, I need differential, overcurrent, earth fault, negative sequence, overflux and voltage protection. So I will enable them here. Finally, decide whether you want to work in primary or secondary values for your settings and select the appropriate option. See CT and VT ratios. This is straightforward but critical. Enter the CT and VT ratios exactly as per your site's specifications. D. Disturbance recorder DR records. First, in record control, make sure all recording functions are enabled. This is vital for capturing data during faults or events. Next, go to disturbance records. Here you can set the fault record duration. A powerful feature is the ability to trigger the disturbance recorder using a binary input. You can select any binary input and choose the trigger condition. O low to high triggers when the input is activated. O high to low triggers when the input is deactivated. E measurements. In the measurement settings, you can choose to display values on the relay's HMI as primary or secondary values. I prefer to see them as primary values, so the relay will automatically calculate and display them based on the CT and VT ratios we set earlier. F. Opto binary input configuration. This is very important for correct operation. You must set the input voltage level to match the voltage of the DC supply connected to your binary inputs. An incorrect setting here can cause the relay to malfunction. It's also a good idea to enable the opto filter control to debounce the inputs and prevent false triggering from noise. The characteristics setting defines the voltage threshold at which the input is considered active or inactive. G. Security configuration. Here you can set the number of attempts for password entry and the subsequent blocking time if the attempts are exceeded. Protection elements. This is where you'll set your actual protection parameters. A key point for this transformer relay is the CT configuration. This relay is for a 5-winding transformer. You must correctly assign the physical CT sets to the relay's internal windings. For example, in my case, the first set of CTs for the HV side is connected to the relay's first CT input, so I'll set last CT terminal accordingly. The LV side CTs are connected to the second through fifth inputs, so I will configure the software to reflect that. You will also need to select the correct vector group that matches your power transformer. Input-output labels. This is a very useful feature for identification and troubleshooting. I highly recommend giving your binary inputs and output relays descriptive names based on your schematics. For example, instead of just BI1, you can name it Trip Circuit Healthy or Buchholz Alarm. Conclusion. Once you have reviewed and configured all these settings, you need to save your work. 1. Save the setting file on your PC. 2. Finally, to apply all the changes to the relay, right-click on the Settings folder and select Send. I hope this detailed walkthrough of the MyCOM P645 relay communication and configuration process has been helpful for you.
We came to the end of this section. See you on next video. If you like this section, then please share to your friends and colleagues. Take care and bye from Barney Tech channel. Thank you for watching this video.